Hey, so I've been asked a few questions about the buy now, pay later. And is it a good idea? So I'm doing some homework on it. Long story short, no, it is not a good idea. Recent surveys say that Americans spent $940 million on Cyber Monday with plans to pay it back later, which is a 42.5% increase over last year. So what is buy now, pay later? Well, this is actually a really good website that kind of walks through it all. I don't necessarily expect anybody other than people like me to actually go through this, but I will share some key takeaways on it, which I think are really good. So, a lot of them are interest-free loans, typically not reported to the credit bureau. So people that use buy now, pay later are usually the ones that can't get a credit card. More on that in just a second. But compared with traditional consumer credit, they're younger, less educated, more debt, lower credit scores, and higher delinquency rates. Buy now, pay later entities are for profit, so they're going to get paid in a couple of different ways, and it's in countries where greater e-commerce penetration, higher inflation, things along those lines. So when we look at this, it's pretty simple. It works basically just like a credit card would, where you've got the customer, you've got the platform, and you've got the merchant. So what ends up happening is the merchant sells it to the customer, the buy now, pay later platform pays them, but the merchants have to pay a fee in order to use these people, and they do it because they want to get access to people who can't afford their products right now and don't have a credit card. They literally talk about this in a couple of different categories, saying that the people that they're targeting, not really targeting, the people that they're quote unquote serving are people that are less educated, less financial savvy, and are a higher risk. So I can send you this whole report. It's pretty interesting how it all works for somebody like me, but probably not for you, as to where the money's coming from and how much they cost and so forth. But part of what's happening here is we're seeing a massive increase in credit card debt, right? So I think this is pretty funny because honestly, where it says how America racked up $1 trillion in credit card debt, and this was just published this week, and I'm thinking that number is wrong though. It's actually, and I remember this because I was surprised when I saw credit card balances spiked in the third quarter to $1.08 trillion. Part of the problem here is the numbers are so big, we don't even know how big they are. We can't even comprehend them. So then I'm like, all right, well, we missed it though. When you're saying $1 trillion or 1.08 trillion, what's the difference? Well, it's a pretty big difference. It's $80 billion. Don't negate that's the difference in what these headlines are stating. So they're pretty nonchalant about what all of this is. But we're going into a holiday season with a lot of these good buy now, pay later type programs out that are actually going to be very expensive. We're kicking that can down the road as we rack up radical current and approved buy now, pay later. In addition to this, I did see one other element to this. I think it was on this one. That we're also seeing this $1.08 trillion looking at interest rates of 22 to 29%. So just keep this in mind when you're out there buying items, putting on a credit card that you're going to pay off over time. When you're spending the $100 on that item, if you're not using real money, you're going to pay $122 for that item to $129 for that item. So it's a lot more cost prohibitive to utilize any of the buy now, pay later type programs that are available. What I did notice on these though, which is pretty interesting, is but they're going to get you because you're not going to pay it off in time. I mean, I saw this, pay 4 or 3 easy installments of $6. Well, why do I even want to care about doing all that? A lot of them start out with no fees and no interest until, of course, you miss one of those payments. So this is kind of how this stuff works. It's mind-blowing to me, but if I can help you with anything, just spend less and don't fall for any of the buy now, pay later scams. So that's all I got. I will include this graphic in the comments below.